Chair recognizes the gentleman from Van Buren, Representative Shipley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the Iowa House, I agree this is a tremendously important bill and one I'm really glad we're talking about. I just wanted to share a couple quick statistics from the Iowa Youth Mental Health Survey, so we're all just kind of on the same page of how severe this issue really is. In general, I tend to be pretty uneasy on, unfunded mandates on school districts, but given the scope of the problem, I think a mandate is definitely appropriate on how to address this. Just a couple quick points. So two questions that really stood out from the Iowa Youth Mental Health Survey. One was they ask about suicidal ideation. Another one is where they ask about feelings of persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness. So just really quickly, in 2021, 27% of sixth graders reported feeling those persistent feelings of sadness or hopelessness for a duration of 2 weeks. 11th grade reported as high as 36%. Why that's, the figure might not seem alarming in and of itself, but when you compare back to previous data, in 2012, only 12% of sixth graders were feeling sad or hopeless when asked a very similar question. So that indicates a growth rate of over 100% in roughly a decade. On the suicidal ideation question, you get similar figures. In 2012, 9% of sixth graders reported suicidal ideation. In 2021, it's now up to 17%. Again, almost double in a period of 10 years. For 11th graders in 2012, it was 15%. Their rate of growth wasn't quite as high. It's only 24% in the most recent survey. So I think the main question that we need to deliberate as a body is what is driving these mental health trends? What is causing a higher number of young people today report feelings of helplessness, hopelessness, sadness, and suicide at a rate that's almost double than just 9 or 10 years ago? I think these are the questions we really need to spend a lot of time deliberating. And again, so I have a lot of respect for the people that are advocating for the bill. I hope this is a tool that helps. I mean, absolutely, all Iowans at all times need to have access to mental health resources, and from the local government up to the legislature, we need to make sure we do everything we can to ensure the most effective resources are available. But I guess I would just politely kind of challenge that. I think we have a lot more work to do, and while I think this is a measure that will make us feel really good about tackling a difficult problem, I would be concerned that I think these rates of growth are likely to continue, and if these rates of growth do continue unabated, if we double these rates again in the next 10 years, God only knows where we'll be. So I just hope it's incumbent on all of us to ask ourselves what we can do to form positive, healthy mental health and identities in students. And I guess I'll just close with this, is that a message I think students need to hear maybe a little bit more urgently than in a helpline, was that if I was putting something out to students, I would just let them know that, you know what, if you're a student in Iowa who's trouble, no matter the setting, the circumstances, of the crowd, just remember that you were immensely valuable as you, to stand firm in your feelings, values, and intuition, and know that it is you who holds your life path in your hands. You are important, unique, and irreplaceable, and we would encourage you to live so you can celebrate that truth. Okay. We'll take a moment while Representative Kressick clears his throat. But I just wanted to leave that message to all the students of Iowa. That was something that was given to me from a high school teacher that I think is very powerful, that students do need to understand that they are infinitely valuable and irreplaceable just as they are. And I hope we can propagate that message through the school system in Iowa as well. Thank you, everyone.
Chair recognizes